Hey y'all, I'm Pam with 44 Marketplace. And if today's your first visit to my channel, thanks so much for tuning in. I'm glad you're here. Please take a minute to subscribe and click the bell so you'll be notified each time I upload a video. If you like my videos, give me a thumbs up. And keep in mind, I try to put a material list in the comments below each one of the videos. If I missed something, please let me know. Okay, let's get started. But I wanted to give you guys a little show of glazing cabinets. I guess that is a question that comes up a lot, and these cabinets are going to be heavily glazed. This is the kitchen I've been working on before boot camp, and I wanted to show you some of the definition that we brought out by glazing. There is that one. There is that corbel. Maybe you can see it a little bit better there. We did all of the edges around the base of the cabinets. We did a little intermittent glazing in the wine racks. The doors to the refrigerator are glazed. They are heavily glazed here. And we have glazed the fluting and stuff because I want to go over how to do this so that you guys can see. All right, see how that is glazed? And then we have the glazing at the top. Basically what she wants is heavy shadows. Can you guys see that in the video? I hope it's coming across well. And let's show you some of this. This one right here, I've got ladders and stuff everywhere. So you guys can see on the post how we gave some glazing there. So I'm going to explain to you guys how I do my glazing, and you guys may do it differently, but I'm going to climb up on the ladder. I wish that I had something that could hold this, but I'm going to show you a quick glazing lesson. And you guys can do it this way. I'm going to show you this is what we're going to create. This right here so that you guys can see it. And if you know somebody that's got to glaze some cabinets, maybe this will help. There's a better view of the refrigerator. See how we've done that? All right. So everybody asks how I glaze cabinets. First of all, I use a Paint Pixie brush because it has a French tip. All right, so when you're glazing cabinets, I think everybody wants an easy, quick way so that you don't have to climb a ladder. Well, guess what? There isn't an easy, quick way so you don't have to climb a ladder. I spray a lot. I spray doors and stuff, but I'm going to show you this. The best thing to do is to start. My brush is damp, and you're going to brush, 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 brush. You want to get it in those grooves. There we go. And you're going to get it in that groove, and you want it just below there. Can you see how we've created a shadow just below there, and we've got a groove, okay? Then you're going to take a baby wipe. People ask me, what kind do you use? I use Maker's Mark unscented, but you know what? It's just a baby wipe. I don't care what kind you use, whatever kind makes you happy. It doesn't have to be unscented. It does better if you don't have all that lanolin and junk in it, but whatever works best. You can get them at the Dollar Tree, whatever works. So basically what you want to do, you don't want to wipe everything off underneath here. You want to leave the shadow, and you want to get most of it off there, but leave it in the groove. So that is how you do the glazing there. Now I'm going to have to sit you down a second, grab us some more water, because the big important thing is keeping your brush damp. I cannot express to you how much you have got to keep your brush damp, because the whole point is moving that glaze around. Okay, we're going to go back up. We're going to glaze one more part because glazing the top is a little bit different. There's my vent hood. We did copper and bronze. We layered those. I'll show you that again. Okay, so now when you get ready to glaze this, it doesn't matter, you can go heavy or not, because you're going to be spreading it out and moving it around, okay? So if you get too much in one place, it may look really dark when you first put it on there, but once you move that damp brush around, you're going to get that moved around. And what you're wanting to do is not just define this and this, you're wanting to give a shadow all the way across there, okay? Nice and shadowy. See how we've done? Okay, once you've shadowed that in, you can see these little edges here. We're going to wipe this back a little, just a little. You're not trying to obliterate it all, and you're going to soften this look up here. You're not trying to make a harsh line. Can you see those shadows that we just created? Okay, now, last thing you're going to do when you do this is right up here. You're going to take whatever's left on your brush, and you're going to go back and forth up here. And you're trying to just give this a little bit of a shadow up there. Can you see how we're not getting it very dirty? Just a little bit of a shadow, and you're going to soften that line a little. And there goes my brush. So you're going to soften that line a little. Now, when you get ready to go over here, you're going to have a little bit of your product that's going to be dry. You're going to dampen that so that you can move it again. Now, can you guys see from side to side? So that way you can see we've darkened this a little bit, given a shadow. We've given a shadow there and given a shadow there, but there you don't leave any definite lines, okay? So that's what you're going to do. And I'm going to tell you one of the most important things you can do, besides not dropping your brush off the ladder, is when you get down, step back and look at it. Because what looks great when you're up close may not look as great when you're far away. So that's the thing, and it's a lot of times it's vice versa. When you're up close, it looks like, oh man, I got great glaze on there. But then when you step back across the room, it doesn't look like enough glaze. So that's the other thing that you've got to keep in mind when you're glazing cabinets. When you've got big panels like the ones on the refrigerator, don't be stingy with it. Give it some glaze. If your customer wants heavy glaze and you've got a panel that's as tall as you are, you need to step back and look at that thing. If you go light glaze on that, it's going to just disappear into that drop cloth panel. So you want to make sure. And now we're going to go back down here to these corbels. I hope I'm not making anybody drunk. But we're going to go back to these corbels. Can you see how we have defined these corbels? You basically go really, really, really heavy on your corbels and wipe back. And in some cases, the corbels are going to take a couple of layers of glaze. I'm going to be straight up honest with you. Sometimes you're going to put it on there, you're going to walk away, and I don't know that I'm not going to glaze these corbels some more. Because these are a statement piece. They are beautiful. They're on each end of this kitchen island, and you really want to make them say something. Now, you guys saw the fluting over there. There's fluting on both sides of the cooktop, and there's fluting here. So you want to make sure that you are glazing, glazing, glazing. And I'm going to tell you, when you've got a column like this, don't be stingy with it, people, okay? Leave a little bit of a shadow here and a little bit of a shadow here, because if you just glaze in the fluting, then it just looks too cut and dried. You've got to have some shadows other places. That's why we did the base down here. See how we've shadowed that extra base? Now, keep in mind, it is going to look slightly different when we get all of our doors and drawers back in here Monday. But you've got to make sure that you don't just say, oh, I'm going to throw a little bit in the corbels, a little bit on the top, and let it go at that. You've got to add some places. And another thing is when you're glazing these doors, give them a little dark knock. Give them a little dark knock here and there. Give them, if you're going to glaze them, that ages them. So what you want to do is give a little dark knock here and a little dark knock there. Don't make it completely uniform, because if you make it completely uniform, it doesn't look as custom as it does if you add these little spots here and there. I know, really, it is a shock that at 8 o'clock on a Friday night, I'm in a kitchen, right? I mean, where else would I be? At home with my husband. And there's our beautiful vent hood. She even got new lights. We're not finished with the vent hood yet. We're going to sand and put one more coat on there, and then we're going to highlight it with some gilding wax. You guys know me, more is more, and I just can't help myself. When I got a kitchen like this to work in, it is going to be the bomb diggity when I'm finished, I'm going to tell you. So that's why I wanted to show you guys. You really want to make sure all of your details show up. I mean, I showed you guys how cool this is by the stove. I mean, I just love these things. So we really highlighted the crap out of the one on this side, and we got the one to go. See how we highlighted the curves of it and everything? Now it is amazing. So that's the thing. Here's one of the corbels that's beside the cooktop. And what we've done is we've highlighted it with our custom glaze, but now after this dries, tomorrow I'll be back over here and I'm going to put some gilding wax to tie it into our beautiful vent hood. So that kind of gives you an idea of what we are doing with this kitchen. And I wanted to just kind of bring you guys up to speed so you could see that sometimes what you have to do is you have to make those calls. You've got to know what you're going to do and where you're going to do it. But get yourself a plan. And this homeowner likes a lot of glaze. So as you can see, we are going heavy, heavy, heavy. And I can't wait for you to see the doors on Monday. So I wanted to make sure I got my live in. We started Leo the Lion yesterday. And he is going to be on task tomorrow night at 9 o'clock. I'm sorry I came on late, but I did want you guys to see because I get asked questions about glazing cabinets, and I got to be honest with you, I get in a groove and I totally forget about going live to show you guys about glazing. But you just want to make sure, like I've said before, it's all in the details. Make sure and take your time with the details. Make them highlighted, show them off with some glaze, show them off with some gilding wax. Sometimes it calls for all of the above, but just make sure and take your time and showcase your work when you can. Thanks for watching tonight, guys. I hope you have a great Friday evening, and I will see you tomorrow night at 9 o'clock with Leo the Lion.